I want you to get ready for the ultimate showdown. Raleigh versus Charlotte, Charlotte versus Raleigh. Which city is better for you? We're going to talk about cost of living, schools, crime, housing prices, job market, things to do, restaurants, and these are just a few things. Whether you are a Tar Heel native or maybe you're just curious about the Old North State, this is going to be an epic face-off between both cities that's about to unfold. If you're thinking of buying, selling, or investing in either city, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you. I'm with eXp Realty, and we have network agents all over the state, and I can find you a great agent.
You have my attention.
So Raleigh is the capital of North Carolina, and from the last Census Bureau of 2020, it has a population of just over 467,000 people. Now, Charlotte is a larger city than Raleigh, even though Raleigh is the capital, and it has a population of just over 874,000 people from the last Census Bureau. So let's dive right into it. We can compare cost of living from Raleigh to Charlotte. I'm going to talk about food prices, groceries, gas, healthcare, you name it. So the cost of living in Raleigh compared to Charlotte is 4.3% higher than Charlotte. Now, employees in Raleigh typically pay less than Charlotte by a negative 0.2%. Also, Raleigh has a 1% lower standard of living comparison to Charlotte. You'll see compare Charlotte to Raleigh, food-wise and restaurants and all things. So you see meals here are about the same. Get rid of that. So in Charlotte, expensive restaurant, $20, both cities. For $2.80, $7 difference in Raleigh. McDonald's, a little more expensive in Raleigh. Beer wise, about the same, things like that. Market, looking at bread, it's like restaurant wise, Raleigh is a little more expensive. But if you go into the grocery store, it's like Raleigh's a little more cheaper with some things. Obviously, milk, loaf of bread, things like that. Transportation, I would definitely recommend, and we'll talk about that in a second. With transportation, you're going to need a car in Raleigh, definitely. Charlotte, you've got the light rail, but it's if you're living in the heart of Charlotte, I think you'll be fine. But definitely, I would recommend getting a car if you can. Utility wise, Raleigh a little more expensive, things like that. Childcare, clothing, rent per month. If you look at NerdWallet here, if you compare Charlotte to Raleigh, if you had a $50,000 salary in Charlotte, you would need to make $49,537 to live the same type of lifestyle. The cost of living is 1% lower in Raleigh. So, according to this, housing costs, this is NerdWallet, medium 2-bedroom apartment rent compared to Raleigh, about the same. Medium home price, a little more expensive in Raleigh. You look at transportation, gas, a little higher in Raleigh. Food-wise, as you can see here, you can check out this website. I'll drop it in a link below, so you can see it. Entertainment-wise, movie tickets, yoga classes, stuff like that. Healthcare costs is a big one, of course. Cost of a doctor visit, a little cheaper in Raleigh. Of course, we're next to the Research Triangle Center, which has about over 100 different healthcare facilities. So living in Raleigh definitely, I would say, is better health-wise, with everything health-wise being so close with Duke Hospital, UNC Chapel Hill, things like that. But Charlotte has some great hospitals too, and healthcare also. So next thing I'll talk about is going to be the job market. And first thing I'll talk about is going to be Raleigh. Now, Raleigh has a Research Triangle Center, or RTP. Now, RTP is over 7,000 acres, and it houses 300 companies and 55,000 residences. RTP is also affiliated with 3 large universities in North Carolina: Duke University, University of Carolina Chapel Hill, and North Carolina State University. And it's also home to the State and Health Sciences.
Impressive.
Now, if you compare salaries to the national average for North Carolina is $58,000, but in Raleigh, it's $61,000. The unemployment rate nationally is 8.7, but in Raleigh, it's 6.7. Raleigh also ranks 5th best job market in the United States. Raleigh's workforce has increased by 4% with technology jobs And positions in leisure, hospitality, both up nearly 9% year over year, according to NC employment data. Now, Charlotte has the second largest banking center right behind New York, with San Francisco hot on its heels. Even though Charlotte is mainly known for its banking facility, they do have two great health facilities nearby, Intrum Health and Novit Health, two of the largest employees in the area, providing tens of thousands of jobs in hospitals, medical centers, pharmacies, labs, and physicians' offices. Charlotte also ranked in the top 10 for the best labor markets. Now, Bank of America is one of the largest Fortune 500 companies in Charlotte, but there are some other ones. We have Lowe's, we have Honeywell Companies, we've got Duke Energy, American Airlines, Wells Fargo, and the Charlotte school system is another dominant employer. Now, Raleigh is getting an Apple hub, should be completed by 2025. Hopefully, they've actually already started working here and hope to bring in more jobs.
Or Apple and all their cool products.
And they're also building one of the largest Toyota plants in North Carolina. It's going to be in Liberty, North Carolina, which is about 60 miles from Raleigh. Toyota is going to invest $8 billion into electronic cars to be built at this plant. Now I'm going to compare Charlotte's salary average to the national. National is $58,000, and Charlotte it's $57,000. Now the national unemployment rate is 8.7 nationally, but in Charlotte it's 7.8. Next thing I talk about is going to be real estate. Now, if you're looking to buy a house in Raleigh, you're looking around $385,000 for the median price. This includes townhomes, condos, and stick-built residential homes. Now in Charlotte, it's going to be $400,000. If you're looking to rent a house in Raleigh, it's going to be the median price of $1,600.83 a month, which is down from last year by $52. If you're looking to rent in Charlotte, you're looking at a median of about $1,800.03 a month, down $60 from last year. Next thing I talk about is going to be education. I'm going to start with Raleigh first. So Raleigh has one of the best institutions, according to niche.com. They've got A's and A pluses for most of their schools, public schools. Raleigh and North Carolina public schools have an average math proficiency score of 45% versus North Carolina's public average of 42%. Reading proficiency is a score of 55% compared to statewide being 47% in Raleigh. Schools in Raleigh also have an average ranking of 8 out of 10, which is the top 30% of North Carolina public schools. Now in Charlotte, public schools has a math proficiency of 40% compared to North Carolina average of 42%, so just a little bit lower. And with reading proficiency of 45% versus the statewide of 47%. Schools in Charlotte have an average ranking of 6 out of 10, which is the top 50% of North Carolina public schools. So with those numbers, Raleigh kind of edges out Charlotte in reference to public schools with ranking in general. As you see, reading proficiency was just a little bit better than it was in Charlotte. Next thing I talk about is going to be amenities, lifestyles, things to do, and restaurants. So in Raleigh, there are a lot of things to do. You can attend a Carolina Hurricanes hockey game. We've got great museums with science, art, and natural history. If you like to ride bikes, we've got a lot of nice bike trails around Raleigh, like the Neuse River, Crabtree Creek, and Greenway Trailhead, to name a few. If you like going to the lake and fish, or if you just like to go to the lake and hang out and definitely camp out, we've got some great lakes nearby. We've got Jordan Lake, we've got Lake Raleigh, Lake Johnson, and Lake Shelby. Now, if you're looking to head out of Raleigh, the beach is only about 2 hours away, and depending on which mountains you go to, Asheville is about 4 hours away. You got Boone, which is 4 hours away. You got Blowing Rock, which is about 3 hours away. So you have the best of both worlds, in my opinion. You're so close to the beach and not too far from the mountains. Depending on which one you want to travel to, you could probably travel to both in one day, depending on how much you want to drive.
There's so many groovy things to do.
Now, if you're looking for things to do in Charlotte, the list goes on and on and on. We've got a whole bunch of sports here. We've got the Carolina Panthers. We've got the Charlotte Hornet basketball team. We've got a man-made white water rafting place. Yes, I've been there. It's pretty fantastic. It's one of the largest man-made white rafting places in the world. And they also have an Olympic training center there. If you're looking for an amusement park, we got Carowinds, which has a roller coaster that goes from North Carolina into South Carolina, back into North Carolina. So that's kind of cool. And if you're looking to head out of Charlotte, if you're looking for the closest beach, it's probably about a 3-4 hour drive. And to the mountains, it's going to be about a 3-4 hour drive also, depending which mountains you go to. Again, if you're looking going to Asheville, Boone, or Blowing Rock, it could be a little bit of a drive. So a little farther than Raleigh by an hour or two, depending on where you want to go to. Now, if you're looking for food and nightlife, Raleigh and Charlotte are, I would say, neck and neck. Charlotte may be a little bit more. To me, Raleigh is more suburban and they've got more space. Charlotte, it definitely is more of a bigger metro city. So there's more things to do downtown. They got a bigger downtown area than Raleigh does. So it really depends. But food-wise, cuisine-wise, I think you would find it's going to be the same just about. If you're looking for that southern, North Carolina barbecue, it won't be hard to find. If you're looking for fine dining, definitely both places have it good. Rooftop restaurants. If you're looking for that New York style pizza, you can definitely find it. Looking for that Chicago style pizza, I think you can find it also. So definitely not a shortage of restaurants. And if you're a big foodie, for both areas.
Comfort food, fried chicken.
Next thing I'll talk about is going to be commute and transportation. I'll start with Charlotte. Now, Charlotte does have public transportation if you got a bus, and they've also got a light rail. So a little help there, but they also ranked number 10 at one of the worst cities for public transportation. A survey was done by Clever Real Estate, and they ranked Charlotte number 27 out of 100 for the worst public transportation, which is basically an F. And Forbes magazine also ranked Charlotte for number 2 as the worst state for commuting. On the screen in front, you'll see a little link to CAT's system, which is Charlotte's public transportation, if you want to know more information about where the light rail goes and where their bus system goes, if you want to check that out. For Raleigh's public transportation, all they have is a bus. There is no subway, there is no light rail. So all you have is the bus. So you definitely need definitely I would say you need a car in both cities. But out of the two, I would say you need a car even more in Raleigh because it's so spread out. With Charlotte, at least you can, ride a bike, skateboard, walk to most places if you need to go there work-wise, if you live near these places. In Raleigh, even though it's a good-sized city, we're really spread out. It's equal, in my opinion, urban versus rural, where Charlotte is definitely more urban. Now, I know Charlotte ranked number 10 for the worst city for public transportation, but Raleigh beat it out and it came in at number 9. Now, they didn't have a data for what Raleigh ranked. I know Charlotte, it was 27 out of 100, which was an F. So definitely, if they beat out Charlotte, but coming in at number 9 and Charlotte was number 10, good chance they got an F also. But Raleigh was ranked number 3 for the best commuting city when Charlotte came in at 21 for the best commuting city. Are you thinking of moving to Raleigh, North Carolina? Click on the link below to get my free location guide where I go over top schools, top neighborhoods, and I'll give you an inside look of what it's really like to live in Raleigh, North Carolina. The link will be below in the description and in the comments. Next thing I'm talking about is just the overall quality of life. Now, Raleigh compared to Charlotte, like I said earlier, Raleigh to me is more a family-oriented city. I see, being more suburban, if you're looking for that, family, kind of gathering. Actually, Raleigh was ranked in the top 5 for best place to raise a family. Now, Charlotte is more of a, definitely high-paced city. Nothing compared to New York or Chicago or anything like that, but definitely it's not far behind either. It's definitely, if you look for that fast-paced life, definitely I think Charlotte would be better for you. It really depends on what you're looking for. Now, Raleigh has better healthcare facilities. We've got Duke Hospital, we've got UNC Chapel Hill. So definitely, if you're looking for better health facilities, Raleigh's going to be the better choice for you, quality of life wise. Raleigh was ranked number 61 for the healthiest city in America, and Charlotte came in at number 80 for the healthiest city in America. So definitely, if you're retiring, I would say, definitely if you've got health issues in general, but definitely if you're retiring, as you're getting older, I would say you want to live in Raleigh due to the hospitals being just a little bit better than Charlotte. Now, crime-wise, according to Neighborhood Scout, Raleigh came in at number 13 out of 100, 100 being the safest or best. Raleigh came in at 13, so not great numbers, but they did beat out Charlotte, where Charlotte came in number 5 out of 100 being the safest city. So definitely, if you're looking at crime-wise, Raleigh's going to be a little bit better, coming to 13 compared to 5. Now, anywhere you live, there's going to be crime there. So if you're just basing off just crime, definitely look with more into the suburbs and things like that. And where is the crime at exactly? To do some comparison there. If you enjoyed this video, please watch this video over here where I talk about the Raleigh developments for 2024 and beyond. And if you're thinking of buying, selling, or investing in North Carolina, please reach out to me. The team and I would love to help you. We have network agents all over North Carolina. See you guys in the next video.